we have a story that highlights the unbreakable emotional and genetic bond between a father and a daughter. Max Weinberg is the longtime drummer for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. His daughter, Ali Rogin, is a journalist and author. We recently sat down with the father-daughter duo in Washington, and they reflected on their relationship and how it's changed because of something they never wanted to share.
The guy who comes off stage with a bathrobe and gets into the van and puts his hands into an ice bucket of, you know, that's Dad. He never stops being Dad. That's who he is on stage.
Max Weinberg earned his nickname, the Mighty Max, because of his muscular style of drumming. Bruce Springsteen has said the steamrolling rock music lies upon Max's shoulders more heavily than anyone else's. But that doesn't faze Weinberg.
I mean, they all come to see Bruce.
Right.
I'm the guy out of focus behind Bruce in the pictures, right?
After the E Street Band broke up in 1989, Weinberg became the band leader for Late Night with Conan O'Brien. His daughter, Ali Rogin, was 6 years old at the time.
He really did have a 9-to-5 job, or as much of that as you can have as a musician. My favorite memories are just sitting on the couch, watching TV together, sharing a blanket. Those were really the moments that shaped me.
Those moments are just, they're up here and they're in here.
Weinberg has grown accustomed to playing sold-out stadiums worldwide, but his favorite job has always been at home, as Dad.
Actually, these are the drums that I recorded the album Born in USA on.
He's the keeper of the family archives.
Things to do in the girls' club. 1, have meetings. 2, maybe adopt a whale.
I think in terms of what I inherited from my dad, I'd like to think I got his great hair.
I got lucky in that department, I guess.
So I think I got the hair, the musicality, and yeah, I got this kind of bum gene from him.
That gene is the BRCA1 gene mutation, which increases the risk for breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers.
For a lot of men, there's a stigma to even...
the whole thing. And I'm here to tell you that prostate cancer is extremely curable if it's caught early.
Weinberg, who says he was proactive about testing, was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2011.
What do bosses do? Bosses take charge. I've just always found that better to know than to not know.
Doctors removed his prostate, and he's now cancer-free.
1, 2, 3.
But he's passed that proactive gene to his daughter.
We were driving in the car in New Jersey, and they said, listen, your dad has this gene, the BRCA1 mutation, and it comes with a risk of breast and ovarian cancer. And I said in that moment, there's no question. Obviously, I'm going to get the test.
It was a little bit of an out-of-body experience watching my daughter handle this news and then making a decision several years later with such determination, grace, and just, work the problem.
As a 20-year-old college student in 2009, Rogin decided to have a preventative double mastectomy with reconstructive surgery.
That was a real challenge because when you're that age, none of your peers are thinking about anything this morbid. And so I really felt very alone.
It inspired her to write Beat Breast Cancer Like a Boss, a collection of stories from 30 successful women who have beaten cancer.
Have you discovered that there was an underlying thread?
Even those women who are at the top of their field experienced similar challenges. The reason I wrote the book was hopefully to provide those stories that can empower women to go into those doctors' office and be able to feel comfortable that they deserve all of the answers that they are searching for as they make their decisions on this journey.
Ali and her husband Josh have begun the process of in vitro fertilization, which allows them to screen out embryos that have the BRCA gene mutation so they can ensure their children will not inherit it.
I'm a little choked up because I'm sitting here with this accomplished, formidable woman, but she is always and will always be my little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Max and Ali acknowledge how privileged they are to have insurance and access to good health care. We spoke a lot about that. As for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, there are rumors they will hit the road for a much-anticipated tour in 2022. Weinberg told us he has no plans to tour anytime soon, but he, of course, is happy to be of service. when he is called by
would say
the
that,
boss.
wouldn't he?
Yes, indeed. This was such a wonderful story for me to do. Ali and Max were so wonderful. And the idea that they have all these traits in common, but also what she calls this bum gene, was a fascinating story. And for her to make that decision as a young child, college student.
So courageous and impressive.
Yes.
She was so present and ready to face it.
That's right.
When you said that in the piece, 20 years old, there was a collective gasp here because we
Yeah.
couldn't believe she was so young. Was that before or after Angelina brought all the attention to
It was
BRCA1 gene?
before, and she told me that now it's easier to explain to people because Angelina Jolie made it known around the world. Also, she was a young reporter at the Crusades. Did you know that? She did her father has video of her pretending to be a reporter, reporting from the Crusades when she was a little girl. He collects everything that his children do.
The father-daughter relationship on camera there is so warm and so loving.
Yeah.
It's a model.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank
Happy
you.
soon-to-be Father's Day.
Thank you. And you're father to little cat Mimi.
Oh, yeah, cat. That's all the work I can do.
Thank you very much.